Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing amazing. Today's topic was one that I came up when I was talking to one of my friends, and it is on the topic of why certain people feel they are better than others and whether this is a good thing for them or not, and whether this is a bad thing for those around them or not. I did some research because I didn't want to just give you guys my opinion. So this is based on research on psychology articles. I personally think the more you know, the more you understand how much you don't know about the world and how small we really all are, regardless of how big we think we may be. And I grew up with a mom that always told me there's always going to be someone prettier, always going to be someone wealthier, someone is always going to be smarter than you. So just make sure that you're always staying humble, because not being humble will not lead you to a better life in any way, shape, or form. And I really, truly believe that's true. So I researched this and I came up with some consequences on what happens if you think you're better than others. First of all, you develop arrogance and you obviously will become super egotistical, and those two things can't ever be good characteristics. Why? Because it makes people being around you very uncomfortable. It makes you not be a super likable person to be around. It makes people feel like they are less than you, and no one wants to feel bad when they're around someone, which makes it more likely for them not to want to be close to you or hang out with you. And so you will slowly but surely start to lose people around you. So it's not a good thing. When it comes to yourself, it will be very hard for people to discuss issues with you, because they will soon understand that you think you know everything about everything. And so a natural, smooth dialogue and conversation will most likely not happen, because you will most likely trump everything that everybody else says. Giving you a compliment will be very hard, because you will most likely diss other people's compliments, because you think that you know better than other people, and therefore you think, how can they know enough about this item or me in this position to have a valid compliment towards me? So you probably will diss other people's compliments thinking they don't even know anything. How do they know? And let me give you an example. Let's say someone says, oh my gosh, you look so amazing and you're so beautiful and you're in such great shape. And you think that you know everything about being in shape and you're so particular and specific that you look at this person and you think, well, she's not really even in shape, or she doesn't even know what she's talking about when it comes to fitness. So I'm not that great because my standard is so much higher than hers. This is looks example, but let's say about intellect. Let's say you're talking about politics and someone gives you a compliment in the political world, and you think they know nothing about politics, and what you know is so high up that their opinion doesn't really even count because you know so much about it. So whatever, right? So out goes all the compliments that are coming your way. It's hard to communicate with you. It's hard to compliment you. It's hard to have a smooth conversation with you, and you don't make people around you feel good enough. So now you're basically in a really bad social situation. In that spectrum, this is not in any way, shape, or form good for you. But what if it is 100% evident that you are really all that? What do you do with that? What do you do if you really are 100% sure that you really are just amazing? Well, I have news for you. Everybody is amazing at a couple of things, or maybe multiple things, but you can't possibly be good at everything. You cannot be the best at everything in life. That's just impossible. Let's say you are a champion of Olympics. You're going to be a champion in one category, in one sport, but you're not going to be a champion in all the sports, or maybe in a couple of sports, but not in every single sport. And so even as an athlete, as a champion, you can't be that arrogant, because guess what? There's going to be another dude that's going to be a star tennis player, and you're not a star tennis player. You're a star, let's say, snowboarder. So there's always something to give, because there's always people that are better at something than you are. And the problem with being arrogant and thinking you're a know-it-all and that you are better than everybody else is that you lose the opportunity to learn from people. When you think you know everything, you discount everybody's opinion. But the reality is the person next to you probably knows something you don't know. And there is always missed opportunities for arrogant people to learn from those around them. I'm gonna give you a personal example. Let's say I believe I'm a good therapist. And let's say that I'm proud of myself for that. Maybe my friend is a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of look at her in an arrogant way and I say, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom. Well, guess what? I'm gonna miss out the opportunity of learning how to maybe make some new recipes, maybe manage my household, maybe find a better dry cleaners, better ways of managing my kids' schedules and taking them to better classes. So I'm missing opportunities left and right because I look down on her because I think I'm better. And that is the biggest trick when it comes to being arrogant. So I really hope that from this Therapy Tuesday, we can all learn that there's no way we can be great at everything, and that the person next to us will always have some insight to give us, something to teach us, but we can only recognize that when we don't believe we're all that. I'm gonna leave you guys with one final note here, and that is most of the times people that are really boasting about themselves and talking about themselves are actually not as confident as we may think they are, and they're actually trying to prove themselves to us, and that's why they are saying all these wonderful things about themselves. So the more you think you have, the more powerful you think you are, the less you will have to share that and make other people believe it. Hope this helps. Thank you so much. I will see you guys next Tuesday.